Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for May 25th of 2025 is titled Beneath Jupiter. So what do we see here? Well, what is beneath Jupiter? Well, really, we're looking below Jupiter, looking upward toward the giant planet. And we're seeing the polar region of Jupiter. Now, this is a part that was not very well studied until the last few years, and that was with the Juno spacecraft. The Juno spacecraft has now made 70 orbits around Jupiter, and while that may not seem like a whole lot, its orbits are very long. What it is in a highly elliptical orbit, so it spends a very short time in close to the planet, and then spends most of its time farther away, well away from the radiation belts of Jupiter that could damage the equipment. So it does those swoops in and has done 70 of those now, giving us better studies and a better understanding of the giant planet. And one of the things we've learned is that the polar regions are quite different than the equatorial regions. From Earth, that's what we really see. We see the equatorial regions. The polar regions are hidden toward the top and bottom. But now we have a chance to be able to see those because the Juno craft, in addition to being in an elliptical orbit, is also in a polar orbit, meaning that it goes up and over the poles and allows us to see those as well. So if you note the difference here, usually when we look at Jupiter, we see the various different dark bands and light zones that we see. And you can see some of those here, different stripes going across the surface. But as you get toward the polar region, those seem to disappear. And they're just gone. What we have is just a lot of swirling areas and some storms as well. So all of the spots that we see are storms on Jupiter, or I should say within Jupiter's atmosphere, much as we get storms here on Earth. And we can see some of those up toward the equatorial region. They're there in the polar region. But those long bands seem to be gone when we get to the polar regions. Now, Juno has told us a lot about Jupiter and helped us to better understand this planet. And it does that by telling us that the weather that we see actually goes well below the cloud tops. So just as it does here on Earth, weather is not confined to just one region of the atmosphere. And Jupiter is essentially all atmosphere, so it goes deeper and deeper down. That is really important for the features that we see on the planet itself. And we've also learned more about the magnetic field through its observations, that the magnetic field is, while strong, is not the same everywhere. It actually varies and can vary quite a bit depending on where you happen to be located around Jupiter. So it's not a nice, smooth, uniform magnetic field, as we may have expected from other magnetic fields that we are used to. So Juno will continue through this year, or at least into this year, continuing to orbit Jupiter. At some point, its mission will end, and at that point, its orbit will be adjusted so that it makes one final plunge into the giant planet itself. So that was our picture of the day for May 25th of 2025. It was titled Beneath Jupiter. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be galaxy spikes. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.